Living currently in a world where so many people want to ignore and deny our intrinsic connection to the land of Israel and Jerusalem, and particularly this week, just before Tisha B'Av, which will be on Sunday, the day we commemorate and mourn the destruction of both temples, it's really a good time to reflect on the lessons we can learn from the temple. Here is one short but powerful one. The temple that stood in Jerusalem had many laws attached to it, especially with regard to the construction and the design of the many kelim, the many vessels and utensils that were used for ritual service, like the menorah, the candelabra, the table for the showbreads, the altar, and so on. One of the laws about building these vessels was that if you can, and if the community could afford it, it needs to be made out of gold, because after all, it's the home of God, and therefore needs to be made from the finest and the best. And therefore all the kelim, these vessels of the temple, were made of gold. But as Maimonides tells us in the laws of the temple, he says, if the community couldn't afford it, you can make it out of any type of metal, even a cheap metal. And if then the community becomes more wealthy and they're now able to afford it, they need to upgrade and remake them out of a finer metal and ultimately out of gold. We are all a temple. We make ourselves and our lives a home for God. And the mistake we sometimes make is that big things are being asked of us. We need to make major changes in our life. No, says Maimonides. You need to make small changes. You need to use the resources that you have at the moment and make a change. Build a vessel. Do something for a higher purpose and a higher meaning. And with time, as you grow and your resources grow, you will upgrade. That's fine. Of course, if you can, if you have the resources, you need to upgrade. But if you don't, any small change that we make, any small mitzvah, any small kindness to someone else is amazing and fulfills the mitzvah of making ourselves a temple for Hashem. Let's just try and use the resources we have, and with time, as we can, keep upgrading. Have a wonderful day.